Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 6th of November, 2011. Are the longs overextended right now in Bitcoin? Let's jump into our indicators and see what they are telling us. First of all, this is the next episode in the 24 hours of Bitcoin. Unprepared. Of course, this isn't trading advice. This is just market observation. We are going against a specific trading plan, and I'll tell you more about that in a second if you're new to the channel. Let's jump into the presentation and take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin prices right now. This is live, and it's a 10-second charts. I'm looking at the liquidation index here, and I like to have this open so that if there is a big move happening while we're on the stream, we should see it up in the top corner. We'll see these liquidations running by, and we'll see the big trades happening as they go. So let me know if there's something happening, if it's up along the corner there. Good morning from England. Hello, Charlie Brown. Got a comment on the name that, it's got to be a difficult name for your whole life to be Charlie Brown. Mr. Addy Cool, good morning. Jam Shahid Sattar. Jam Shahid. That's a new one for me. Let me now jump into the presentation because I want to go through Bitcoin dominance has pulled back a little bit. This is good for the alts. They're starting to set up. But in the longer term perspective, we still haven't broke this trend line. We broke this trend line up along here, but we're still inside what could be bouncing and going up from here. So as I am watching Bitcoin dominance compared to Bitcoin and the alts, I'm keeping a close eye on this, and I'll talk about more about it. The headline is, are the longs overextended? If we're looking at the longs versus shorts, and this is the price of Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin here, we have the longs over here and the shorts over here. We can see how crazy the longs went way up, and then they came way back as, social media is getting all scared as it's pulling back here. Everybody's closing their longs. And then boom, everybody's back into their longs and super into the longs right now as we're coming up to this, which, every time the longs are at a super high point, it's generally when the market drops back. So if I pull this chart back and I get us back to September, the longs were super high as the price was, and it was looking super bullish, and down it went. And I want to comment on this in the longer term. Even though it may be ready to burst and go higher than this, it is really important to pay attention to the fact that this still could be the pissing off the roof formation. And I'll have to give a shout out to Crypto Sniper every time I use that, because after a failed top formation, this is the bleeding off pattern that happens. The difference in this bleeding off pattern that makes it is that it's not a sloping down bleed now. It is a cup bleed, which means we're probably going to get hammered like this with a cup with handle, and all the longs will get wrecked just with a handle, and then off we'll go. Who knows? That's why I do this stream every day, so that I can take a look at the indicators, map them out from day to day, and have it like a trading journal to go back on and check out. We can see here that the alts have been changing quite a bit. Here, I got to go back to our Discord and to our Patron club and pull this back so I have the data so I can compare, because right now we have 35 alerts over on Binance, but on Sunday there were 29. On Sunday there were 17 hold status coins, and now there are 28. And so there are some specific coins that are passing the bottom formation and setting up to be in a hold status for the alts. Really important to pay attention to right now, because we had more than 100 neutral coins on Sunday, and now we're down to 89 neutral coins. So that we're starting to change to the bullish stance. I'll talk more about this at the end of the episode. Let's jump into our indicator set. Here we're looking at the weekly view of relative strength index. And forever now, it seems, I've been watching for this uptrend from the weekly RSI to give us this continuous bull market that we are all wanting in the next phase to $35,000 from here, in a big wave up that it's just sounds phenomenal, but actually we'll look back and say, why didn't I know? Now, as we jump in, and of course, on the other episode, I brought up the world's, I like my name pronounced easy. Hey, Arthur, good to have you along. If this is your first time here, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and let me test out that this animation thing is supposed to work when you subscribe and that your name will be featured. It's part of the Streamlabs setup. Anyway, let's get back into this. We are moving higher, and I like this cup formation that's going on, unless it breaks below it on the daily. Super key. So as I'm zooming in, it's the same formation I'm looking at. If it breaks below this formation, not so good. If it breaks above it, we are sailing. I don't like these exhaustion wicks off to the side. That's why I'm watching this so closely and being skeptical on both sides. So here is the very specific points that we can watch for as prices are moving. Should the relative strength index be picking up here, we're in good stead. And I know as we go through the rest of the episode, we're going to pick up other indicators that are also matching this, especially on the 4-hour time frame here. I'm just going to zoom into the 1 hour and take a look at this because we have these higher lows building up. We have the lower highs building up. As the RSI is like coming to a squeeze, as prices are building, we really want to watch this through the day to day. So let's go on to the next indicators because they really do show us some awesome stuff. That's okay. Here we are with the weekly view. Of course, we've been looking for a place in the past where we had volume that petered off and then picked back up again. And of course, this is what we're looking for now, is that volume to pick back up again, cross the midline here on the weekly view, give us that juice. The longs have done it on the daily view, and this is looking really good, where we had a nice spike up and it's pulled back, nice spike up, but it's holding steady, which is the beginning. If we're in the right place. I want to zoom in now to the 12-hour time frame to see this is nice and steady. I like it, so this isn't really, it's good volume and less volume, which is a divergence in the lazy boy. I don't know, the unbalanced volume lazy boy indicator. I think that's what it's called. And so seeing this divergence here is important. Let's zoom in to see what it's doing on a closer time frame. Good, we need this juice here, but it's not really bang. And there's no warning to it. Like it doesn't look, this is the most warning we've had all the way along. Even though we had warning here and it was looking good in the same kind of cup formation, when all of our indicators started to cross, it was pretty clear and it happened fast. So you have to plan this out ahead of time and know that when this happens and the other thing happens, right at this precipice, I'm going to do X or I'm going to do Y. Right at this, and that's why we're zooming into this, to make up that plan and to compare it against the trading plan that you can get if you head over to the website introdocryptos.ca. Be sure to scroll right to the bottom and get the free webinar of the complete trading system. Then this trading stream actually makes a lot more sense for you, and the stream goes into the indicators where the trading plan that you learned from that free training doesn't. So you're actually putting together two different components here that I hope will be very helpful for your trading as it has been for me. Okay, back to the weekly view of the MACD, because this is, for me, it's got some contradictory indications in this on different time frames, and I want to map it out from day to day so that I can know this as a case study for any time in the future that this stuff comes up. And I am comparing this against the trading plan that I've used for decades, actually, and now adding in this extra layer of analysis and research. So it's deep research. Here we are with the daily MACD easing off, and I don't like it. I don't like that the histograms are pulling back this much. They've got to pick back up and be longer, as we said yesterday. This is easing off and coming to closer together, and if this crosses, that is very bearish. Now in the 12-hour time frame, it has been crossed all the way through. Let me bring the chart back up. It has been crossed all the way through this potential 1, 2, 3 top formation. it's got to cross positive if we are breaking out above this. It has to. It will. And so what I'm doing now is looking into the closer time frames, so that we can watch this fold or unfold one way or the other. Now, as I zoom into the 4-hour time frame, this is giving me the idea that the 12-hour will soon be coming along with us, so long as the 4-hour stays positive and widens from where we are. It has to widen. And if it is crossing to the negative, the 12 hours already negative, this is bad. This is bearish. So I want to zoom in now to the 1 hour, because this is going to give us the prelude of to what the 4 hours doing. So we keep zooming in closer and closer, and that this has got positive crosses that are higher and higher and higher while we are going through this divergence right here is bullish for me. That's a bullish setup in the 1 hour time frame of the MACD, setting up here as all this is unfolding. So long as we're right at the point, so long as this doesn't cross to the negative. So we have some really clear things to be watching now. We could actually just look at this. If it flares out and going wide, we know the 4 hour and the 12 hour are going to follow. If it starts crossing to the negative, then it's a good time to be checking your position if you're long. Now, let's go on to the Ichimoku Cloud. So the Ichimoku Cloud weekly is still negative cross, actually, and gaining momentum. The blue line is going further away from the red. So this is a negative indicator I don't want to miss. It could certainly come back and do a whole bunch of sideways. This weekly thing gives you lots and lots of room. This is for the real investor who lets his money work for him rather than the day trader who's in there working for his money. Now, in the daily time frame, we have a cross to the positive. This is positive, and it's poking just above the cloud. If it can get up above the cloud, we haven't done something like this through a red cloud in an uptrend since way back when. And the last time we did it, it was very bullish. So if we can sustain this and get ourselves up above this cloud, we may go sideways for a while before we're gaining that big momentum to go above $20,000 US. Let's go into the closer time frame now. So we're on the 12-hour time frame, looking to see if we're sustaining this. This is all positive too. So I like that this is up above. I like this is crossed to the positive. This is all good. But prices could come all the way back to here before this would give us a signal, really. Again, it's for the investor who's already in and they're positive and they're just watching. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, I am watching closely to see what is the blue doing crossing over the red here. I was expecting that the blue would maintain its distance from the red line and that we would continue to move its way up here. So with that crossing over to the negative and the 4-hour MACD still to the negative out of this 1, 2, 3 top, I want to be super wary of this, especially since we have so many longs. It's just the way the market is. Most people are wrong, and if it's super exciting looking and it looks like a bottom formation, it looks like it's going to take out, it certainly is the time to be ready for it to crash. Crazy as it is, counterintuitive, it's the risk control rules that are going to save you. Now here in the 1-hour time frame, it's good. This is more positive. We've got a cross to the positive. The trailing indicator is coming along, but we're not twisted to the positive anymore. We've lost that bit of juice. So again, we're just such at a clear point that I hope these indicators compiling together gives you some clarity. Let's go into the on-balance volume, because this is the odd duck for me that gives different signals than the rest of my stuff so far. And the one thing I'm worried about here is that in the weekly, we are still below the midline, which means that we haven't crossed, on the weekly, we haven't crossed above the midline yet. So really, we are still in the downtrend according to the Bollinger Band weekly. We haven't crossed it yet. And who knows how much longer it may take before we do that cross on the weekly. So this is what we're really looking for right now. If we cross above this and sit on that, it's going to be party time for all the bulls. Now, when I go into the daily time frame, I've been going back and trying to find a time when we had a daily that had space between itself and the midline. Usually it comes back to that midline. So either we're going sideways till the midline comes up, or there's real potential for it to come back and kick on that midline to retest it to see that we are continuing on the uptrend because it's kind of floating in the middle of nowhere. If I go into the 12-hour time frame now, we are edging right along this midline and in a very narrow band, which means we are probably going to do a big move soon, and it could be a fake out. It may not be the actual move. So it's super risky. Small positions, stay alert right now, especially with this all consolidating right on that midline. Let's zoom into the 4-hour time frame to see what it is doing. It is bouncing up off the bottom, staying above the midline, which is good for bullish. So really got to watch this to see if it crosses the midline on the 4-hour time frame. I want to know because it's been poking up against this like sell area along the top of the band. It's been poking along the sell area at the top of the band while the 12 hours been doing these exhaustion wicks up at the top of the band. So crossing these midlines on these bands, I want to have my computer alert to tell me, bing, bing, this is happening. Because we have a 1, 2, 3 top formation building up here. If it breaks this trend line, it's important. And this is the most difficult time to trade along the point of the triangle. Because look, we had the point of the triangle. Oh my God, it's the point of the triangle. Oh my goodness, it's the point of the triangle. Oh, pay attention, it's the point of the triangle. Jeez, it's crazy if you're jumping in and out with large leveraged positions. There has to be a staging position where you build in with little bits and then you build up and then you build up again after that for a really safe way to enter this kind of market that can do nasty things to you. So stay safe, stay small, stay lower leverage, and pay attention to these specific points here today. Boom, boom. I like your name pronunciations. A lazy granny. Yes, I try to trade like a lazy granny. I really do. So I do these analysis every day, but this isn't how I trade. Instead, I don't know which one's going to be taking off. And I've learned over time that they all move sort of together, but there's a group that always moves first. And so I want to be into those when I've done my back testing and I really took this system apart and looked at how it worked with all the coins. I was able to see how everything worked in sort of a bell curve where the whole market moved, but there was a group of them that moved much better than the others. And by using this trading system, we can see which ones to be diversifying into, and more importantly, when to be diversifying out of them and pull back on the trade, so that we are really trying to be as safe as possible and to scale in when the bull market comes. It's a ton of information. It's a huge amount. And if you're finding it overwhelming to follow all of the altcoins and the cryptocurrencies, this may be something that's just for you. I'm going to give you a tour of the Bull Market Watch training area. So here inside the Bull Market Watch training area, you get access to the spreadsheets, but training so that you know how to use them in 10 minutes a day. So we start off with the webinar that explains the whole trading system and the 5 stages of a trade that we're looking to implement in the cryptocurrencies. Next, you get 2 videos that show you how to find the best cryptocurrencies to invest in 2019, 2020. It doesn't matter what year it is, this system works. And then there's a short video on how to start a new cryptocurrency portfolio. If you are just starting out and looking to diversify, this will help you out. Next, you get 2 different books. This one's really important. I love this one. I remember this all the time as I'm setting up my trading. How to overcome fear and greed in Bitcoin trading, in cryptocurrency trading. And then I'm learning more about the BitMEX trading platform. So I put together a big tutorial and a short video to explain more about that. Hopefully it's helpful for you as well as you're setting up. Then finally, you get into the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet, where you get to dig into all of the data of everything that's going on. But I think the most powerful feature that this has for you is that every day you get an email that sends you just this section. So you know that there are how many alerts there are, how many holds, and especially how many exits there are. This spreadsheet is always evolving and improving, and some of these results now, some of these improvements are specifically from customer feedback. People who are now logged into this spreadsheet who are asking, could you have it this way? Could you set it up this way? Could we just narrow it down to this? Because I've only got 20 minutes a day to look at this stuff. I really can't sit at the charts. I can't watch all of your live streams, but if you could give it to me in 20 minutes, I would love it. It would be fantastic. And so this is how this has evolved over the last while. And I would love to see you guys join and be a part of it. You can learn more about it at the website introdocryptos.ca. And even if you don't sign up, you can still come and see what's going on with the bull market. You can see how many are in holds and alert status. And as this changes from day to day, you're up to date. You have the broad market overlook, sort of the bird's eye view of everything. Let's jump back into Bitcoin price now and see, are we going to be breaking down or blasting higher? We know specifically where in our indicators we're watching. Let's see how this plans out for the rest of the day. I would like to now invite you guys to come over to our Discord chat, because as soon as this episode is done, the charts are going to change. There's going to be new information. We're going to be tracking it along with all of these indicators, so that when this indicator changes directions, we post it in our Discord chat. And all of the stuff is the free stuff. I want your success, and I want you to learn this trading system so that when you're in our chat and I do something wrong that's outside of the trading system, you can say, hey, wait a second now. I'm putting this together for my own success, and it doesn't limit how much success you can have. You can probably take my own system and do it better than me and outperform me. I would love it. I would love to hear your success stories. Join our Discord, No Jack Lojack says. It's fun. We do play around. Assos Man, good to have you along. Buys are set at 0.618 around the $8,500 level. TRX is bullish. Let's go take a quick look at what's going on with the set over there. Because this is really part of what's going to be going on with Bitcoin dominance. As these are setting up out of these bottom formations, so ADA has been sitting along sideways for a long time. It's building beautiful formations, but it hasn't really broken out of the sideways stuff yet. So let's see. BCH ABC, okay, it's building up a little bit better. It's giving us 1, 2, 3, 4 touches of death with exhaustion wicks all the way along. And there was a time I would call these pre-pump candles. It's like there's so much interest in the market that they are just buying everything they can. These are whales setting up and buying. And then after it does this and it falls off, and I go back and I look, oh, okay. Those are not pre-pump candles. Those are exhaustion wicks. This is excitement and FOMO in the market of everybody going, oh my God, it's breaking out, and they're buying it. But actually, well, let's see how it plays out, because I am not buying it yet. And I like it. I like these formations. I like the EOS is doing what it's doing. And as I zoom in on, and it's kind of going crazy here, I want to stay on this time frame. But as we zoom in on time frames, the last little nose of it was actually matching Bitcoin really well. But it's still inside this bottom formation, hasn't broken out yet. Ethereum, okay, this is one of those that did move up from this consolidation in August and September. It actually made a move. We were watching all of the divergences set up here as this top formation laid itself out for us. It was pretty clear. Now we have the bottom formation setting up in a springboard variation of the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. A larger 1, 2, 3 potential bottom formation if it breaks above these levels, right? And inside this larger 1, 2, 3, we have a tiny 1, 2, 3 right at the number 3 point of the larger 1, 2, 3. So you see how these 1, 2, 3s nest inside each other. And the more that they nest inside each other, the more powerful they are. And when this nested 1, 2, 3 and this nested 1, 2, 3 builds up, and we get the ascending wedge triangle to break out of this, we can, without a blink, see that we are going to be hitting up to at least these levels. Just the size of this, and it's probably going to be one of those uptrends that goes on for a long time. The trouble is, everybody's got their nose on Bitcoin, and Ethereum hasn't got their shit together completely yet. So if Bitcoin is actually going to be taking off up like this, I am anticipating that Bitcoin dominance is going to be coming back up the other way, and alts are going to get crushed temporarily and dramatically. So we should see and I could be wrong, right? If they're breaking above this, I just buy it. So if I go to the bull market watch and I see that we've gone from alert to hold status in those coins, I go, okay. And I go and I buy 1% of my account into that coin, into that coin, into that coin. And I don't really care about the price, whatever. I just do I just buy it. It's not leverage trading. I'm not holding it with fees. So I don't care. I just buy it at the market. I don't worry about limit orders on this. And I probably could do a limit order and save myself some time and money with that. And I look forward to that. Now let me go back up to the chat. I didn't get to TRX yet. Can you say a little attention deficit disorder? Let's go on to Litecoin. Lower lows. I actually like this pattern a lot. And I'm super bullish on Litecoin long term. Litecoin kicked ass in December and these are the coins that are on my top list. Every coin that did a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation in December and did 3 times its price value and then a nice 1, 2, 3 top. Now it's coming down to another 1, 2, 3 bottom. I don't want to miss out on this, right? I want to have at least a piece of it. Just the smallest little bit would be really good. It is making a 1, 2, 3 formation, and the exponential moving averages are coming close to crossing over, so it is setting up to a formation. And yet if Bitcoin's going, will it crush Litecoin, or will Litecoin take off with it? I don't want to miss out, so having a piece of that as it's coming up across these levels is important. For me, anyway. Just those chart patterns I can't ignore them. We spent too many years waiting for them. TRX, another one, beautiful 1, 2, 3 formation. And we were poo-hoo on TRX all the way down through here. There was nothing doing with it all the way along as we were doing these videos. It wasn't giving us any ideas. We did get a little bit going on here. And of course, the exponential moving averages kicked us out. Back down we came. And it was July, actually, that we started doing the Bull Market Watch spreadsheet for Binance as well as for Poloniex. So then we started to get more data for this. And it's been easy to see that it's come to an alert status and now into a hold status because it has completed the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation and built above it. Now it's consolidating and coming off these levels. I like it. I'm going to zoom in. I like it. It's good. And at the same time, this is the formation I am wary of and watching for, with Bitcoin starting to make noise in the background. If this is weakening off past these levels, I don't want to play. I just want to step aside now because we could be coming back to here without a problem. We can already see that it does big, massive moves. When Bitcoin does its move, we can get a very big percentage move. And the panic and the fear that comes into the alts when Bitcoin does start to ramp up, it's going to increase quite a bit. So what I'm looking for now is for the move down and the little 1, 2, 3s on about this time scale, the 7th to the 13th, and off we went. It broke the downtrend line on this, 1 hour time frame bar. And this is where we are going to be hunting as Bitcoin is taking off. We're going to zoom right into the 1 hour time frame bar, and we have to be super nano-sized in our trades, knowing that nano-sized trade is going to turn into a good profit that we can set a macro-sized trade onto after we have a little bit of support and turnaround. So that could take 2 months after we find that bottom. It could come up and go sideways before we put on our macro trade. Let's do Ripple. I'm afraid of the same thing with Ripple. No matter how good it is doing with the rest of the world, Bitcoin speaks, Ripple gets spanked. And so as Bitcoin is coming up off of these levels, if it starts to go parabolic, our RSI will top out, our MACDs will all cross positive, our Ichimoku cloud will all go positive, and the Bollinger Bands will do something that I can't read yet. I don't know what to do with it. But when it gets into a trend, right, it stays right along the side of the band. And so we should just like smear this band right up to the top. Right along like something like this. Just bam, 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 bam. All the way along the band, like, where do I sell? Where do I sell? Where do I sell? I don't know. And that's what I want to see as this is unfolding. Okay, James at the water cooler. Let's go back up here. Daily 2MA is dip. I don't think we'll see 860 again. Daily. Let's go to a different chart. Bitcoin daily 200 EMA. So we are sitting right above the 200 EMA on the daily. Then I zoom into the 12-hour time frame and let this fill in, and we can see that on the 12-hour we are right sandwiched between the 200 period moving average and the 60 period exponential moving average. The 2060 has crossed forward, crossed positive, and this is a major indicator for me. When that crosses positive, I don't want to go bearish at all until that baby crosses negative. And then when it does, that's all I'm looking for is top formations. So now that that has crossed positive, I am only looking for longs, and I'm only looking for longs after it makes me the 1, 2, 3 formation. So now we have them. 1, 2, 3, I'm looking for a long for sure. And if it pulls back, you know, I'm looking for the 1, 2, 3, and I'm looking for a long, and I'm not going to play the short. I'm not as short focused right now with the EMAs crossed the way they are. I'm looking for that 1, 2, 3 bottom and the extension forward. I'm looking for the nitro spot. The nitro spot is a combination of the pullback 1, 2, 3 with the 4-hour Bollinger Bands and the 12-hour Bollinger Bands matching up. Now we have the nitro spot. What do you mean matching up? Well, this isn't it yet for me, for the nitro spot. The nitro spot, if I go to the 12-hour time frame, is right here. And we called this wonderfully as we were doing this live stream. We had the 1, 2, 3 bottom. All of our indicators all crossed positive right here. And on the 12-hour Bollinger Band, we can see that it is down at the bottom of the band, and we are not right now. We were here. This was a more beautiful one for me. And then as we go into the 4-hour time frame and zoom back to that spot, you can see that the 4-hour confirmed our 1, 2, 3 bottom, came to a narrow neck, broke out of the 1, 2, 3 bottom with all of our indicators. This is the nitro spot where I want to put on a leveraged trade. For me, this is in that trend and turning around. That's where I want to do the higher leverage trades for myself. And it's a rare occurrence when that comes together. I actually have a new training set with case studies on this specific combination of the 1, 2, 3 bottom, 3 different indicators, and the Bollinger Band on 2 different time frames. And when we come to that spot, I want to light everything up, say nitro, 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 and case study the crap out of it. If you guys want to play along with it and do the paper trading, that would be awesome. Let me go back to the chat because Chuck asks for, can I look at XRP versus USD? What time is it? I've got yoga coming up, so I've got to skip out here pretty quick. XRP versus USD. XRP versus BTC, and I should be in a different chart. Let's just go to a normal chart. Clear that off. Get rid of the indicator. Go back to XRP. First of all, BTC and the daily view. Bottom formation pulled back when Bitcoin did its jump, really took a whack. So now let's go into Ripple USD. And this is a very much more beautiful pattern. Very much more beautiful. And I do believe, of course, Ripple is going to go up in US dollar value. The thing is, Ripple could stay the same Bitcoin value, right? It'll stay at 3,200 and just stay flat. And Bitcoin's going up and up and up and up and up, then Bitcoin US dollar value is going to go up and up and up and up, even though it didn't move against Bitcoin, which means that it would have been better to have my money in Bitcoin. If I've got just cryptocurrency, right? Whatever. I'm going to put it in alts if they're going up against Bitcoin, or I'm going to hold it in Bitcoin. And that's it. Maybe I could take my Bitcoin and go over to simplefx.com and I could put on a small leverage trade on gold and silver. So then I'm not just trading my Bitcoin against alts, but I'm trading my Bitcoin against the Forex, against this S&P 500 and against silver and gold. So I'm not just limiting myself to 1, 2, 3 formations on cryptocurrencies, but I do want to trade cryptocurrencies against Bitcoin. I don't want to trade cryptocurrencies against the US dollar. for the reason that it will, and it has in the past, blinded me. My alts were going up in US dollar value, but they were going down against Bitcoin, which means that my money is the same. It would have been better to have my money in Bitcoin because Bitcoin's going up faster. We got two racers jumping off the starting block. Okay? We got Litecoin. No, we got Ripple and we got Bitcoin. And they're racing against each other in a running race, foot race. So they're on the starting blocks and they're leaned forward and they got their hands in the ground and the starter gun goes off. Bang! And they both run. We're sitting in the stands and we're cheering for them both. We see they're both running forward towards the finish line. Right? The US dollar value of them both is going up. But we can see that Bitcoin is running to the finish line faster. I want to have my money in Bitcoin. Even though they're both going up in US dollar value, Bitcoin is going up faster. If Ripple versus Bitcoin is staying steady or going back while the US dollar value is going up, that is my blindness in the past, where I consider it cost me $500,000 because I had that much worth of cryptocurrency in altcoins that were going down against Bitcoin but up in US dollar value. So I held them and I went from $100,000 to $500,000 worth of altcoins, and I was very happy. But if I would have put all those alts into Bitcoin at the time, I would have had $1.2 million instead of $500,000. It was a really critical mistake. And so I go on about this all the time, and I apologize if this is a little bit too much like an evangelist. But I am. That's it. So targets are, so the US dollar targets are great, but if it stays US dollar, the same Bitcoin value, then I would have made more money to be in the right, betting on the right racer. We are in for final alt capitulation soon. And this is what I am of thinking. And the reason I'm thinking that is because I rewatched a video of mine, and this is where the analyst gets to analyze the analysis, right? No, not, anyway, I studied my own thinking back in September 2017. I'm going to go to Poloniex where they have more data for this, and I'm more familiar with the chart. So back in September of 2017, here it is. Damn it. This is the moment here where you can see I'm holding my alts, and we're going down in Bitcoin value, but going up in US dollar value, right? I had $100,000 worth of alts. I had $500,000 worth of alts. And I would have had 1.2 million if I'd have just switched right there. And I did the video in September that was exactly in the chart formations like we have right now. It was looking like this wonderful 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and we had exhaustion wicks setting up in here. Oh, these are pre-pump candles. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes. I'm just going to hold because this is the springboard effect. They're going to snap back soon, and they're going to go along with Bitcoin, just like they did from March to July, right? This is the consolidation and the next trend of the uptrend for the altcoins. I'm going to keep holding. Oh, damn. But the US dollar value is better, right? Right? Here's another top formation. Oh, here we go. There we go. There's our pre-pump candles. Look at this volume coming in. Here we go. We're going to go. Look at the moving averages here. Look at the exponential moving averages all the way along. We're in a bear market in the altcoins. They crossed over, and all the way along here, I'm analyzing, rationalizing, but we're still not crossed positive. And that's where we are right now. And if Bitcoin is doing this and the world's eye is on Bitcoin, which it is, altcoins are going to get their share next. But it's not going to be until Bitcoin completely annihilates what we have. We think that we're down low, but I'm going to be watching now for the next wave of 1, 2, 3. So I invite you guys to come along with me, really in detail. Jump into these charts. Scroll down to the bottom of the website, and 10 minutes a day, you'll have all of this information. So you'll know if these alerts and these holds are going into exit stance. You will know immediately which ones to exit. You can exit half of it on the 4-hour EMA cross and half of it on the 12-hour EMA cross. And then we don't touch them again until we get down to those bottoms and we have those EMAs crossed properly, and only want to get into the ones that are moving. And we'll just sort of hang out on the rest of them. Boom. Now, let me go back to Bitcoin price and the chat. I'm a moon X-boy. Let's get this crypto. I'm a moon boy 2 for Bitcoin right now. Okay, Kirby, when moon? Do fib lines from the 70x bottom and the 10 tell me 68 doesn't look healthy? I'm not a fib guy. I do Fibonacci's up to the 50% level and kind of eyeball it, but if it's not making the 1, 2, 3 formation, the Fibonacci doesn't matter. And if it does a V-shaped bottom and bounces up, it's too volatile for my trading system, and the EMAs are there to actually filter that crap out, so that I am not jumping around like a dog chasing its tail, but I am waiting for the tide to come in. I really do like the lazy trading in the alts. Yes, I've lost so much money holding alts myself, and thus all of this data and research. I know how much money can be made, and so I'm putting the work into it every single day. Not just myself. We have AOL Chandra who's doing all of the updates on our Binance spreadsheet. So if I head over to the Binance Bull Market Watch spreadsheet and we take a look at what's going on back here, we can see that AOL Chandra has this updated by 2 a.m. every day. And you can just have this information sent to you. Every day, you can just log in here and see which coins are coming up from alert into hold status, which ones are not, which ones are pulling back. All of the data is here. And I hope to have a whole bunch more subscribers. We'll limit this at 200 people. And that's a pretty small group of people for the crypto world. So if you're wanting in there, head over to the website. Ba-dum-bum. So you're not holding the altcoins when you shouldn't. You're phasing out of them when you should. And we're putting our money into Bitcoin. You're not going to make that $500,000 mistake that I made. This looks like it's going. So even though I'm trepidatious and I'm watching for the reversal as this is going, and I know exactly what I'm looking for in these indicators, as it's going, there's no kidding around with it. And pay attention to the alts, because as we're into this time frame now, right, we're in the very close time frame. Well, they're still pulling up along with it. I was expecting a top formation in the alts as Bitcoin is pushing prices up. So I am watching this closely on the super close time frame. Here's EOS, a double top, pulling back. Ethereum, how are we doing? So it topped out, give us some exhaustion wicks and has pulled back. We'll have to see. Here's more exhaustion wicks and the divergence in the RSI. Litecoin is pulled back, and I'm keen to see if this is going to be going along with Bitcoin, because we have the 3 touches of death along a top formation. So if Bitcoin is mooning, that may crush Litecoin a bit. And I know that if I go back out to the 25th of October, Litecoin took a smack when Bitcoin went. So if Bitcoin's going, I don't expect Litecoin to hold yet. I still expect it to come back and do another 1, 2, 3 just from the fear, right? Just from that greed and fear that will always comes. And bad traders are fearful at the wrong time and greedy at the wrong time. Good traders are fearful at the right time and greedy at the right time. The greed and fear are important, but only at the right time. TRX giving a step up here on the 4-hour time frame. Zoom in. I like it. That's consolidation. It's holding itself up above this support level until it breaks below that. Looking good. I love it. Oh, actually, it's not wrong to make a mistake in trading. And our upbringing in the world teaches us that it is wrong to make a mistake and we should avoid mistakes because you get punished for them. But in trading, we're always going to make mistakes. In fact, it's not wrong to make a mistake. It's so normal that you should have strategies for it, and you should assume that it's going to be there. When we're driving a car, we don't assume that we're going to be going straight. We're correcting all the time as we go. So it's the same thing with trading. Assume that you are going to have to correct your steering as you're going. And we have strategy for all that stuff. I'll talk more about it, but I've got to slip off for yoga this morning. I am super grateful to have you guys along. Yes, Spencer, I watched $180 turn into $6K on a coin and then lost it all a few months later. And the reason is you didn't know about the 1, 2, 3 top formation before you got into it. You didn't know where you were going to land your plane when you took off. I got out of a lot of the 1, 2, 3 tops, but back in 2017, I didn't do it well for the alts. I was in the monkey trap. Read about the monkey trap with the coconut and some rice. Thanks, Bez. I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Cheers. I'll see you on Discord. Bye for now.